Hey, welcome to Sipper Social Club. I'm Jeremy, and today I'm doing a little head-to-head comparison between the Highland Park 10 and 12-year-old. Just a couple of years age in difference, but is there major differences between the whiskeys? I'll let you know what my favorite is when I nose them, taste them, and give them a mark. Alright, so the 10 versus the 12. So 10-year-old, balled at 40% ABV, 12-year-old at 43. The 12-year-old does come in a 40% ABV as well. Depending on which market you're in, will depend on which ABV you're getting. I think North America gets the 43, UK 40, not sure the rest of the world. The 10-year-old, not available in the US market, 40% ABV. Again, I think just Canada, UK, and some other parts as well. So let's compare the noses real quick. I've done a review of the 10 before, but lots of like orchard fruits on this, nice pear, apple notes, pretty similar to some stuff you get in the 12, but I'd say the 10 a little bit more maybe that green apple, whereas the 12 maybe just more like the red apple, but lots of apple notes for sure in this. Both of these whiskeys, lots of like floral elements, little like rose petal, floral, fresh cut flower element to both of them. Something I get more on the 12-year-old is this malty characteristic. The malt, cereal, grainy stuff definitely comes in a little more on the 12 for sure. Whereas they both might have a little bit of honey. I'd say the honey note is more pronounced on the 12 on the nose. Say the 12-year-old gives you a little bit more citrus, maybe a little orange peel in there that the 10 does not have. But both noses, very approachable, very light, more kind of like delicate style, the lower ABV. You're not getting attacked, just nice. There's sweetness, there's maltiness, fruit characteristic. Both really nice on the nose for sure. Let's go palate. Starting with a 10. Lots of like milk chocolate, chocolate milk. Both those notes come through really pronounced on the finish for sure. Again, that floral element carries over, and that Highland Park smokiness, that peat, that heathered kind of style peat. You definitely get more of it on the 10 than the 12 for sure. On the 12, this one you're getting a little more spice, a little more oakiness perhaps, a little more wood notes. I'd say maybe a little more like sherried element to it. You're getting maybe a little more raisin, a little more fig, kind of stereotypical sherry note, red fruits, and then not as much of the peat. Definitely that's something that you notice right away with the 10 on the palate. Definitely get that little more smoky element to it. It's not much by any means. These are very light as far as peat smoke is concerned. It's just enough just to add a little bit on the back end, but very light. But the 10, I mean, I think you guys have heard me talk about this 10 before. I reviewed it before. It is really nice. Only 40% ABV, but you're honestly getting just as much viscosity as the 12 and that peat smoke. Little extra layer, a little more cranked up, and more of that chocolateness. Again, the oak, not as much in the 10-year-old. And the maltiness, you don't get that much either. In my opinion, the 10-year-old is the winner for me. I've scored this one before, gave it 85 out of 100. 12-year-old, going 84, going a point less. Honestly, I think the 10-year-old is better, even though it's 2 years less and 3% less ABV. I still enjoy it more. Value for these, here in Ontario, this 10-year-old goes for 65 Canadian dollars. The 12-year-old just $5 more at 70. So really the value, I mean, if you look at it from a completely subjective point of view without even trying the whiskeys, you're getting 3% more ABV, 2 extra years of maturation for only $5 more. But honestly, the 10-year-old is a better whiskey, in my opinion. More enjoyable, that chocolate, fudge, chocolate, milk, milk chocolate, you get on this, plus the extra dialed up smoke, wins for me. Still going to add half a point for value on the 10. I think at 65 bucks for Ontario standards, that's pretty good for what you're getting with this. And even though this is only $5 more, I mean, I think I'm going to take off a half point for this. Make this 85.5 out of 100 and 83.5 out of 100. So there you go. Highland Park. I added this to my top 5 Scotch Whiskies for Beginners video that came out recently. If the 10-year-old was available in the US market, it would replace it for sure. I think this one is better. But both really enjoyable, nice easy pours, very light, something you can you know, sit back with, not have to think about too much. They're not too complex, just nice, simple, straightforward Scotch whiskey that's very enjoyable. Let me know your thoughts on these 2 entries to Highland Park. Leave me a comment down below. If you've had the 10 versus the 12, which do you prefer? Let me know your favorite Highland Park that you've tried so far. Appreciate watching as always. Have a good one. Like, subscribe. Cheers.